The beer of the week is Pacific Drift IPA, brewed at the Mission Brewery in beautiful downtown San Diego, California. It's a medium-bodied ale with a fruity malt blended with pine and grassy hop flavors. And on this episode, we discuss the results of UFC Fight Night 120, Poirier vs. Pettis. We preview the upcoming UFC Fight Night 121, Werdum vs. Tybura, as well as discuss just what in the hell Conor McGregor thinks he's doing. Stay tuned.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to MMA to the Max, episode number 18. I am your very under-the-weather host, Robert Taylor, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Joe Hudson, a.k.a. Babysitter Joe. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing fantastic, and just a heads up, it's not called babysitting, it's called parenting.
Yeah, no, good point. So how are the kids doing anyways?
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. The little guy's taking his nap right now, the 2-year-old, and the 3.5-year-old guy sitting here next to me playing Legos.
Yeah, it's what happens when you end up recording on a Sunday afternoon instead of usual Saturday night after the fights. Unfortunately, like I said at the beginning, I'm feeling pretty under the weather. I passed out right as soon as the fights were over. I actually passed out during one of the fights and woke up for the co-main event, but it's not here nor there. But we're going to try to attempt to get through this episode. I am drinking beer, the aforementioned Pacific Drift IPA from San Diego, and I'm hoping that kind of, heals me up a little bit. They say there's a doctor in every beer, I think.
I think it has something to do with the alcohol in the bloodstream. Your white blood cells are going after what's bad, and the alcohol kind of, helps clean everything up, right? Anesthetic inside your bloodstream. So it's good. That's why I drink on the regular. It's for my health.
I think I had like about 3 beers during the entire fight last night. That's how bad I was feeling. And I actually didn't even want to get up and record this episode today. I just feel like shit, feel horrible. But as the mantra goes, the show must go on. And we've got a show to record. And I'm actually glad I did get up to record this show because that fight last night was electric.
Yeah, dude, it was so good. I was just screaming and shouting again, with kids, and they're in bed and I'm watching the TV. Oh my God, no! And the reversals. To me, that's what amazed me is the jiu-jitsu skills on both guys, going back and forth with position and everything else. It was really cool.
Yeah, that and the heart and the toughness showed by both guys. I mean, Pettis took an absolute beating in the main event. He did throw some good elbows at Poirier when he got on top of him and was cutting Poirier up a little bit, but man, these guys were two warriors. But in the end, Poirier was just the tougher of the two, and he took a very, very big and very important victory over former champion Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, I think so too. He looked great tonight. He looked really, really good. His takedowns and getting the takedowns. Pettis doesn't have the world's greatest takedown defense, but he's always good at his scrambles and getting back up. Yeah. Yeah, but he's always got decent scramble, and his back game is okay. But I mean, Poirier did exactly what he needed to do. He kept him moving backwards. Poirier is a little bit more of a counter striker or plotting, but he moved forward a lot, which is what you got to do against Pettis. And I thought he looked fantastic. And his call out at the end there. But I kind of jumped ahead. What do you think he did when they were rolling over, when he had that body triangle?
That's a popped rib. Something, man. Pettis popped a rib. Yeah, that looks painful. I remember it's not the first time it's happened in a UFC fight. I think the same thing happened to Dong Hyun Kim when he fought Damian Maia. When Maia had that trip takedown, as he was going down, Kim was grabbing his rib cage area, and it was announced as he popped a rib, dislocated or whatever it was. But dude, it looked painful. I'm not going to say that how great the fight would have been afterwards because we don't know. Most likely, Poirier taking that mount like that probably would have been ended. So
yeah, he probably would have been dropping more elbows and would have ended it that way. And then mad respect to Poirier being conscious of whatever happened. He felt the tap from Pettis. He had open shots that he could have taken at Pettis, but he felt the tap and he didn't do any strikes there. Good sport on him, and it was a real fun fight. And like I was saying earlier, his call out, man, I agree with his call out 100%.
Yeah, it was definitely the fight of the night. It was given the fight of the night bonus as well. I mean, I don't think there was really any other choice besides that fight. But the call out, Poirier basically he didn't really say please give me. He said I'm going to fight the winner of Justin Gaethje and Eddie Alvarez, and that is definitely the next fight to make. Definitely the next fight to make, and it's an awesome fight. It's an inspired fight. Either way, it doesn't matter who wins that fight. Personally, I'm leaning towards Gaethje. And Poirier versus Gaethje would be another one of those fight of the year candidates if they ever hooked up.
Yeah, I think so. I think Gaethje is going to end up TKOing Alvarez like Gaethje tends to do, as well as Poirier taking the fight against Gaethje. I'm thinking that Poirier is going to be able to mix it up enough, and he's fighting smarter. That's what I've noticed about Poirier. He seems to be fighting smarter now and not just going in for the brawl and trying to make it a technical brawl. But
like he did when he got absolutely starched by Michael Johnson, he just went in swinging, and Johnson caught him on the counter.
Yeah, that was part of the problem too. It was an emotional fight with Johnson, and that's why he got dropped so easily. He didn't fight smart. I think that's how he learned his lesson. Because his fight, he was winning Alvarez. He was beating Alvarez's ass. Until that illegal knee into the fight.
Well,
man.
I mean, he almost beat Alvarez in that fight. Let's not forget, Alvarez had him wobble too before those knees. Alvarez was on his way to finishing that fight too, possibly before the illegal knees. I mean, he was swarming on him. Poirier was hurt. So if it wasn't for those knees, we don't know what could have happened.
Yeah, he did have him hurt a bit, and at the end there, that's true. But other that one flurry, again, Poirier has a decent chin, except for showing against Michael Johnson, but. Yeah, he was winning the fight big time up until that one point. I think he beats Alvarez if Alvarez can get past Gaethje, and that's a big if because I don't see him doing it because he's going to want to box, and you don't want to box with Gaethje. You got to keep him on the outside. You got to throw the leg kicks and keep your hands up, and just what Michael Johnson started to do until he got lulled into the brawl. That's how you have to beat Gaethje. Maybe. No one's done it before. Maybe.
Yeah, we don't know what you got to do to beat Gaethje yet. Nobody's even done it. He's undefeated. You think you have the game plan to do it, but nope.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Johnson almost finished him twice and still couldn't get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's got that granite chin. When you live on that chin, it's going to kill you one day.
He just has inhuman recovery.
Yeah,
inhuman recovery. There's just no. It's insane how fast he's able to recover. It's just
man. Yeah, he's like
a real life Undertaker.
yeah, exactly. He gets hit with the left hand that rocks him, and before the right hand comes for the combination, he's back in it, and that one rocks him. I love watching the guy fight. I appreciate what he's doing for us, but he is going to be a drooling mess when he's 60. I hope not, man. But that boy takes damage.
I know, and he's such a great wrestler too, man. Division I wrestler. He could be using his wrestling and just taking people down and ground and pounding them. But he just likes to stand and bang. And I mean, I enjoy watching it happen. But yeah, he takes too much punishment. He needs to learn to use his wrestling a little more.
I hope he does now that he's in the UFC, fighting against guys who are better strikers than in WSOF. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I can't wait. So Dustin Poirier, congratulations on the win. Can't wait to see what happens next. Winner of Alvarez versus Gaethje. I mean, it's already booked. Sean Shelby, your job's done.
Yeah, I think Dustin's been taking notes from us, and figuring he'll call his shots and do the job for him since the matchmakers are having some trouble sometimes.
Since the matchmakers keep coming to our show and figuring out which fights to make anyways, as it seems. Jesus.
Yeah. Come on, give us our credit, brah.
So in the co-main event, we had Matt Brown in his supposed and alleged retirement fight
Yeah, why'd he change his mind?
Because he absolutely ended Diego Sanchez.
Dude, that was scary. Like, Diego, again, okay, let's talk about someone who used to live on that chin, right? I mean, Diego was an animal, an unstoppable beast. Well, now that unstoppable beast is getting stopped. And
constantly. That's the second knockout in a row.
Yeah, that elbow. You know, they don't have the 12-6 elbows allowed because they're breaking bricks and whatnot. So what Matt Brown threw was an over-the-top elbow that would have broke everything, man. Like, I'm surprised that Diego Sanchez's skull isn't fractured after that. The only thing that stopped it from being fractured is because Diego was kind of moving down that way, was going with it, had room to go with the hit. But Jesus, dude, that was scary.
Yeah, that Matt Brown, when he caught the body kick from Diego Sanchez, the look in his face and him winding up for the elbow, that was like 100%, target identified, targeted for termination. And that elbow just, Jesus. And I see Diego Sanchez is on the social media now trying to point out that the elbow caught him in the back of the head, which very well may have. It looked like it did to me, but the problem is it wasn't thrown at the back of the head. Diego turned into it to try to avoid the shot, and he took the shot. That's not illegal.
No, it wasn't illegal. It was kind of like the argument that Poirier was saying against when he fought McGregor. Almost the same thing. Yeah, it hit him behind the ear, but it was in the act of fighting. It wasn't like he was targeted. It wasn't like he had his head turned. He was doing rabid punches or doing anything like that. He was going with it, and it did. It did hit him in the back of the head. 100% was right behind the ear.
Which isn't illegal.
No, it's not, and it's going
to
drop
illegal
anybody.
part. Yeah, the illegal part that people seem to think, they think the entire back of the head is illegal. It's not.
No, it's
There's
not.
a mohawk that they look
Correct.
for, which is basically where your spinal cord, if it was to continue to run past your neck and up your head, that's the illegal part. The mohawk of the back of the head. So no, they can still hit the back of the head, and that's exactly where Matt Brown did. He was in the very clear legal portion of the back of the head, and he just ended Diego Sanchez. It was just one of the nastiest knockouts. I love elbow knockouts, man. I jumped up when Mike Perry did it to Jake Ellenberger, and I jumped up when this happened. I love elbow knockouts.
It's so scary, man. It is so scary when someone gets, because those are just like that's a switch flipped that's just devastating because it's such a tight, so much torque, on that inside, and
there's no gloves, all bone,
elbow.
Man.
Yeah,
bone.
There's no give on the elbow. It's not like you punch someone in the fist. There's the shock absorber of the knuckle, even though they're wrapped. The knuckles, the wrist, the elbow, and the deflection and stuff like that. When the elbow hits you, there's no deflection. There's less to absorb that elbow.
Yeah.
Oh man. So it's just nasty.
It's so nasty. I love watching it happen, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely. Diego Sanchez. He woke up. He was fine. Speaking of nasty elbows, like last week, Zahabi, that elbow that he took, that spinning back elbow. I mean, that took him a good 5 minutes to wake up. Those are scary, man. Like, I appreciate what these guys are doing, putting their health on the line, and watching fun knockouts is great. But yeah, you just want to make sure in the end they're all okay. I think Zahabi's jaw got busted.
Oh, I think his jaw's broken, man. He's out for a while. Yeah, that was you can see it when he got knocked out. I think we discussed it on the show last week. Yeah. I don't remember. I was really drunk.
I don't remember all of the show from last week. We've made a commitment to no longer get utterly intoxicated on the show.
Yep. And I'm going to be honest, I have not listened to my own show. Other people have, but if I know when I wake up the next day that I was super drunk for an episode, I don't listen to it. I can't do it to myself.
Huh?
I just have so much. What's the word I'm looking for? I hold myself on the show to a very high standard, at least with my knowledge, my trivia, and being able to communicate and converse on a professional basis without sounding as fake as possible, even though I'm kind of sounding fake right now.
It's working now, man.
But if I wake up and people are like, damn, dude, were you drunk? You were slurring your speech at the end. I'm not listening to that episode. Yep. Yeah, thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Give me the number. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me how it was.
Friends and fans, we appreciate you sticking through it. If that's what you prefer us to do, compared to the
Too
more professional
fucking
shows.
bad.
Let us know, and we'll commit to the Drunken A-Hole podcast. I just don't think that that's what people are listening to us for. I think they do like our candor. We do enjoy our beer of the week and have a good time just like anybody else. But yeah, I think they listen to us because of our knowledge and love of the game. And so we want to keep it about that, not becoming drunken idiots 2 weeks in a row. It was just too much fun. When Aaron was down, that kind of made sense. We were all here drinking a little too much. Wasn't so bad, but yeah.
That show was fine.
Yeah, that show was good.
That was good.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
The
last
Mayweather
week,
McGregor one was, I couldn't even listen to that one, and
no.
I haven't listened to last week. So let me know how you guys thought. How you guys thought of it? What'd you think? I've heard some reviews and don't know.
Yeah, most of the reviews I got were, "Hey man, you guys know your shit, but you start drinking too much." And that's part of it too. Is when we start drinking too much, we get off on too many tangents, and we just start running in circles, and it's hard to follow unless you're a diehard fan. Then you know kind of what we're talking about. But when we start getting deep in different fights and this, that, and the other, that the less than or more than casual, but not quite as hardcore. They just I think they start to tune out. At
okay, so in my defense for how drunk I was last week, and I apologize, but I was over at a friend's house drinking, which is fine. I've done it before. We've had beers. They have a ton of food there. They have a big spread over at the Silas place.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, every time my buddies come up from San Diego to the high desert and we go over there, watch the fights. Big spread, always a good time. Glad I know them. Glad that they come up. This time though, I forgot to eat.
yeah, the spread was nice, but you didn't even partake in it.
I did not. Maybe a couple of chips here and there, chips with dip, but they had pizza, they had chicken, and I forgot to eat. So that contributed because I did not drink that much. I really didn't. I had a 6-pack of IPA, and I had some Modelo's. I didn't even go through the entire 6-pack. I brought like 3 of them home, and I know I didn't drink all the Modelo's by myself. That's for damn sure. But I didn't eat. Forgot to eat. That contributed a lot.
Kids, make sure you eat when you drink. Okay, it'll slow you down. It'll soak up some of that alcohol. You don't get drunk so bad.
Yeah, do not drink on an empty stomach like I did. I mean, it wasn't completely empty, but I had taken a nap after work and just never ate again.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. I planned on eating, but I didn't.
So enough for the apologies.
But we digress.
We digress. Even when we're not drinking. Well, not drunk. Yeah. I got a beer in front of me. You got a beer in front of you, but that's not. I do.
Hoping it's. I'm actually feeling better, but
yeah, just a little bit of alcohol.
My eyes are still a little heavier and all that stuff. I'm still feeling a little shitty, but it's starting to loosen my body up a little bit.
That's good. That's good. Back to the fight. So we briefly have discussed, Brown Sanchez. There's not much more to talk about. Brown looked good as he didn't. Neither of them are really growing by leaps and bounds. You want to talk about improvements?
No, Matt Brown's best spiel of his entire career was a 7-fight win streak before it was ended by Robbie Lawler, which to Brown's credit was a close fight.
Yes,
he did hurt Lawler, but I thought it was a clear 5-round decision for Robbie Lawler. Kind of made me upset because I thought, just with everything Brown's been through, just give him the title shot. Mm-hmm. Just see what happens. He could have possibly won the title from Hendricks, and which at that point was not very likely. But
no, not that Hendricks.
He could have done it and had this big, awesome story. You could promoted the shit out of it for him versus Robbie Lawler. But for some reason they just didn't want to do it. It's fine. It's whatever. But Matt Brown.
I don't.
If you retire. More power, dude. You've had a hell of a career. You've never been a world beater, but I've enjoyed watching this man fight. His fights, he's never been in a boring fight.
No, that's what we love about him. He puts on a good show. He's the immortal. Like, he takes his nickname. He always marches forward. He's technically sound. He's got good power. He's a pretty well-rounded fighter. His jiu-jitsu game is good enough to keep him alive a lot of the time, and he's got heart. He's always been fun to watch, retire or not. Love the guy. Love watching him fight. Will never miss a fight. But I don't know if he has a title run in him. A KO knockout of...
Well, especially now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, okay, let's look at the top 3. Which of those guys is he going to beat? No offense, I don't think he beats the champ. I don't think he beats Wonder Boy. I don't think he beats Maya. I don't think he beats Masvidal. I don't.
Well, no, he's not going to beat anybody in the top 10 at all. But I mean, he can he can continue to fight and have excellent fights and exciting fights that we can all watch and enjoy. Unfortunately, I'm worried about his long-term liver damage.
Oh yeah, no.
The man cannot take a body kick.
No, he is not one who enjoys a liver. I mean, no one enjoys a liver kick, but yeah.
No, but hey, more power to him, man. I'm excited. If he fights again, I'm excited. I'll watch it because I love watching the man fight. If he hangs it up, thanks for the great career and thanks, especially in the UFC, man. Appreciate it. Have a good time. Enjoy the rest of your life.
If he hangs it up, I'd appreciate seeing him. He's a smart guy. If he does any analysis or anything like that, dude, I'd appreciate it from him. But yeah, I think his fighting career, if he wants a title run, I don't think that's there. If he wants to continue to fight, to make money, and he enjoys fighting, then keep going at it, man. Have a good time. I'm not going to tell you to retire, but
speaking of analysts, analysis and everything, and analysts, what'd you make of Paul Felder on the mic, on the commentary?
Dude, I never thought Paul Felder as a cerebral kind of guy. Granted, he has a good fight IQ. He's a smart guy. He's decent on the mic in the post-fight interviews. But I never, ever thought Felder would be phenomenal, to use my favorite word. Hats off to him, dude. He did fucking a great job. Yeah. So natural, so comfortable, so easy. Him and Anik, the back and forth. Dude, I want more of him. It was so good.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy him at first. Watching the prelims on a Fight Pass, he seemed a little wonky. He seemed a little off to me. And I was like, at first I totally forgot that Paul Felder was doing this show. And I was sitting there listening. I was like, who the fuck is this guy on the mic? They need to get him off. Like, that was just during the prelims on Fight Pass. Yeah, it was like a Grisham thing. I was like, get this guy off the mic. What's Cormier doing? Bring him back.
Yeah,
but
bring this dickhead.
As the show went on, obviously I learned it was Paul Felder, but as the show went on, I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, I see you now. I see you, Felder. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it became more enjoyable as the show went on, and I'm glad that he did it. I don't remember. Is this his first time that he did it? Or second?
That's what I'm thinking. This might be his first time that he did a fight night that was broadcast. I think he may have done a Fight Pass fight night before. But I think that's why the prelims were a little bit wonky. He was,
that would make sense.
Maybe some jitters on it a little bit. But then, once he got into his own, once the game started, it was great. I really enjoyed him.
He became more enjoyable for me. So towards the end, what was not enjoyable about this card, though, and I can attest to how unenjoyable it probably was for the rest of you, because I fell asleep during this fight.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like watching 6'4" babies in diapers dance around an octagon?
You know what?
No
I appreciate Junior Albini living up to his moniker, his nickname of Baby. I get it. Hey, you know what? Market yourself however you can. Do what you got to do to market yourself, but produce results. Yeah. I saw the intro and I saw maybe about 2.5 minutes of the first round, and I passed out. Like I said, I'm sick. Whatever. I was tired. Had a long day at work. I woke up right in time for the co-main event. I had to look up who won. I was like, Arlovsky won by decision.
Yeah, I watched the fight, and as an Arlovsky fan, going way back to the Pitbull when he was dominating in heavyweight, and he, again, had a chin before he got dropped by Silva, it was fun to see him in there fighting. His footwork, his movement, his angles, his technical boxing looked the best that I've ever seen it. Like, hands down, the best striking Arlovsky I've ever seen. He didn't try to stand in the pocket with Junior because Arlovsky's chin isn't what it used to be, right? So he didn't try to stand in the pocket too much. He cut angles. He's head movement, a lot of trunk movement for a heavyweight. Again, it wasn't super exciting. I can understand why you'd fall asleep, especially in the beginning if they're just kind of feeling each other out. But I didn't think Arlovsky was going to win. I had Albini winning first round TKO. Arlovsky looked great. I don't know if he's going to have another title shot looking like that, but he looked fucking good, man.
I'm going to take your word for it. I have nothing else to argue about or add to this fight. I fell asleep. I'm sorry. I don't even know if it was a good fight or not. I passed out. If it wasn't for my dog whining to get up on the couch, I was on the couch. If it wasn't for my dog whining to get up on the couch, because she knows better than just jump up, she has to whine or ask, basically. That's how she asks.
Yeah.
To jump up with us. If it wasn't for her, I wasn't going to wake up for the co-main event. That's how bad I felt, and that's how much I was put to sleep by the first round.
No, it was good. As an Arlovsky fan, it was good to see him look like that. Again, I don't know if that's a title you know, that's going to get him a title fighting like that, but it's going to keep him relevant. I mean, Albany should have knocked him out. Albany should have beat him. But, no, he looked good, man. Hats off. Hats off to
good for Arlovsky. Congratulations, man. You need to retire still. I do not trust the man's chin. He's taking so much damage. He can keep getting off these lowly decision wins and sometimes get a knockout over lowly competition. But, geez, every time, man, there's just so many killers in the heavyweight division that can... Now, I say killers very loosely, as in people that can knock him out, not people that are going to become title contenders, right?
Yeah,
there's just so many people that can just do so much damage to him, and I don't want to see it happen.
No, I get that. I get that. But, I mean, you've got to have much love for the dude who said on the UFC, what they used to call the UFC before the fights, little things they would do on Spike TV. Anyways, basically asked, I can't remember. I remember what he said, man, is ask him how my dick tastes. How my dicky tastes is what he fucking said.
Oh, that's because of, I think, wasn't Tim Sylvia, didn't he date his ex? Is that why? I think that's why.
I'm thinking it wasn't Sylvia, but yeah. Maybe
it was somebody. I remember what you're
someone
talking
says,
about.
How do you feel about a so-and-so, you know, dating
your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, well, ask him how my dicky tastes.
Yeah. If anybody out there remembers that, can let us know, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I do remember exactly. I remember that. It was on one of those old countdown shows on Spike and all that.
Yeah,
I remember
countdown. Yeah, the old countdown. It was great, dude. I'm dying. So for that and that reason alone, forever am I going to be a fan of Arlovsky.
So, confession time. I also missed the end of the next fight.
Marquardt
Cesar Ferreira versus Nate Marquardt.
Yeah.
I was dozing in and out, man. It was just a long day.
Yeah, it was, again, into the fight was just more of the same. Nate looked really good. His counter-striking was good.
Well, he didn't get knocked out, so yay.
Yeah, you know, go figure. I had him getting knocked out in the first or second round. Go figure.
Well, this is 2 times in a row that he lost a split decision. Now, okay, so I didn't see anything online about the split decision. Was it a booed decision? Was it a justified decision? Was it the right
it was
call?
Justified. Yeah,
not like his last fight, because his last fight against Vitor in Brazil, again, didn't get knocked out, but was kind of robbed in my mind. I thought he beat Vitor Belfort in that decision, and a lot of people did. A lot of analysts did. A lot of experts had Marquardt winning that fight. Unfortunately, it was Brazil.
Exactly. Everyone had Marquardt winning that fight. It was not just it was Brazil, but it was Vitor.
Yeah, exactly. You got to basically starch Vitor to win a fight against him.
Yeah, and if you knock him out, you better make sure that it was the most cleanest thing ever, because if you blink, they're going to say you poked his eye. You know.
Well, I mean, good for Ferreira. I think he's on like a 4-fight win streak right now in the middleweight division, which is nuts.
Yeah, he looked okay. He should have been able to put Marquardt out.
Yeah,
he should have been able to, but it was the right decision.
He's not. He's not. He just lost to Theodorou. He had a 3-fight win streak, and then he lost to Elias.
Right. That's right. Elias. That's right.
God, yeah. My mind gets away from me sometimes. But
yeah, you're getting old, dude. No, it was the right decision. Split decision because it was close. I get it. You know, you can look at some of the scorecards. It makes sense to me. I give that one to him 100%.
Well, it was one of 2 split decisions on the entire card, which I guess is cool. You know,
yeah.
I mean, the judges for the most part are cool, but you know, when the judges for the most part are on board with the same winner, that always makes me happy. By the way, Virginia, the state of Virginia, did not adopt the new unified rules of mixed martial arts, which drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the judges are kind of judging it more in between. You know, they're doing a better job.
They're taking it on their own to judge. By the new rules, which makes me happy, but still, come on, can we just get some uniformity here? Seriously, it's not that hard. Just say, okay, we adopt the new rules. Let the man knee when he's only got one hand down. Cool. It's just Jesus.
Yeah, I'm okay with like the judging, kind of doing on their own. Yeah, hey, let's look at the new rules as far as the judging is concerned. But then the ref inside the octagon, they can't do that. Like that's completely different. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of the judges are leaning towards judging the fights towards the new ununified rules. But then the referees, they don't have a choice in the matter. And especially when it comes to referees, they wouldn't even begin to allow the difference to seep in there. You know, that's the kind of person a referee is. The rule is the rule is the rule. period.
Yeah,
whether it's right or wrong.
They have to go by the state's rules, and you know we've mentioned on the show, at least with me, I just want to get rid of that bullshit about a grounded opponent. Just let them knee him. Just hey, you know what? If you go for if you try to shoot on a takedown and you grab a single leg, but he sprawls out, but you still have a hold of that one single leg and are stalling and just taking punches to the body, that man should be able to take that other loose leg, that free leg, and knee the fuck out of your head.
Yeah,
so,
I agree completely.
Because you know what's going to happen? You're not going to do that again. So,
well, it changes the way you do that single. It changes how much time you can work for that single. You have to
and
get
it keeps you from stalling because you're going to get kneed in the head. So, yeah, no, I agree, man. I mean, well, I agree with my own statement.
Yeah, and I agree with my own statement, which happens to agree with yours. So this has not been a very fun podcast. We're in too much agreement, but don't worry. I'm sure we'll get to some disagreement here soon enough.
Well, I know we're not gonna disagree on how awesome a Sunshaw's knockout of Matthew Lopez was.
Oh,
Jesus.
Dude, beautiful.
It was so beautifully timed. After that, it's almost like he threw that flying knee as a feint.
It felt
just
like
to get him to kind of like react, so he opened himself up for that right hook, and that hook landed right on the chin.
Yeah, it was perfect. He played right into it. So hats off to Sunshao. He looked great.
It looked like Sunshao was just gonna cruise to another decision, and judging by Matthew Lopez's legs.
Oh, dude, that inside leg kick was Lopez's right inner thigh. I mean, he was hitting it like the exact same spot. And I don't want to say Sunshao cruised to a decision victory. I think that underestimates how well he was fighting.
Well, I say cruised by he was just dominant. I mean, it was he was never in trouble. He had no care in the world in this fight. I have a lot of respect for Matthew Lopez. I think he's a great prospect. That's the problem, though, is he's a prospect. And they put him against the number, I think, 3?
Yeah,
ranked bantamweight in the entire world, or not entire. Well, yeah, basically in the entire world.
Basically, you take all the other divisions.
Fernandez would have something to say about that if he ever came to the UFC. But number 3 ranked in the UFC, they threw him in there as a prospect, and they got what they probably expected. So, that leg. Oh my God, his leg. It was so nasty. Mad respect and props to Matthew Lopez for never going down.
Correct.
Jesus, he stood standing the whole time with his leg looking like that.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt today.
Oh, I'm sure he's not standing now.
Yeah, he's sitting down.
Now the adrenaline's gone.
Mm-hmm. No kidding, man.
Yeah, see,
he hung in there.
I could never imagine that. Could you imagine that, just taking that many leg kicks? I'm not a fighter.
No.
Like I know I play one on TV, but I'm not a fighter. No. But I mean, Jesus, dude, just imagining taking those leg kicks constantly in the same bruised spot.
Yeah, that's why these are the toughest men and women on earth that fight in MMA and at the highest level.
Oh yeah, by far, man.
Tough, dude.
I have so much respect for anybody that steps into any type of cage or any type of ring for a combat sport, because
100%.
Oh my God, it's just the amount of punishment is just ungodly what they take.
Yeah, and keep moving forward. And Lopez was never really completely out of the fight. I mean, he was definitely outclassed, but I think he's gonna find his way to the top 5 soon enough. As long as this knockout doesn't. You can get knocked out like this, and that could be it for you, or you can get knocked out like that, and look at what T.J. Dillashaw's done after he got knocked out by Dodson at the tough finale.
Sidebar, quote unquote knocked out, TKO'd,
quote unquote.
So fucking early, but
yeah, it was a bit early. It was a bit early, but
very early.
He got and TJ.
I mean, he got rocked. He got clocked. That's for sure. But TJ, God, I know we sound like TJ Dick Riders, and we are. But,
dude, I'm not a dick rider, bro. I don't ride penises. Okay, I'm a fanboy.
Come on, man, you know the term. But no,
I'm just messing with you.
Speaking of TJ, dude, I like it. I like that you. I think you set that up, didn't you? You set that up perfectly.
Me set up what?
Yeah, set up. Sunshao calling out TJ, calling out the trilogy fight, the third fight.
Yeah,
he had a point.
Yeah,
he does have a point. I don't think he's going to get it, but he has a point. His only loss at bantamweight is to TJ off of a 16-month layoff due to injury. And he did beat TJ before. Did I agree with the decision? No, but I could see that he won that fight. I'm not saying I had it for TJ, but
that was a home-cooked
see
decision.
Well, I can see why they would give it to him. It was a very close fight, the first one. The second one was not close. But like Assunção said, it was 16 months off. It was 16 months later.
True.
So
that's true.
He's not getting that fight. Let's make that perfectly clear, right? TJ is getting Mighty Mouse. That is going to happen.
God willing.
And it should be a bantamweight, not flyweight. As much as I love TJ, I love Mighty Mouse a lot more. And Mighty Mouse has the clout and has earned more than enough, has done more than enough to earn the opportunity to become a 2-weight division champion, more than TJ has.
I'm going to agree, and I'm a fan of both of them, but I've said it 100,000 times. TJ would be my favorite fighter. If I had to choose my favorite fighter, he embodies what I think is the best fighting style, or what I like to watch the most, maybe.
Yeah, well, for sure, man. He's a great fighter. He's elite.
And DJ is the same, and I love DJ too, but I don't know, something about watching TJ go through Tough and all that kind of stuff just endeared him to me.
See, so here's the thing, man.
He's great.
I knew TJ before Tough. We watched him, and you did too. You were talking about him before Tough. During Tough, though, I got a bad vibe about him. He was asking for the easiest fights to get through the show.
Yeah, but I saw what he was doing, man. And
it was smart. It was smart.
He knows that he was better than everybody there.
Yeah,
at least he was in the top 3 or 4. So why am I going to fight one of these killers that I could potentially, when I know I'd belong in the semifinals? That's smart. I didn't begrudge him of that at all. I didn't.
I did. I got it, but I did. You just take the fights, and I know the narrative even showed Dana White and everybody else was like, "Wow, he's just asking for the easiest fights." And I get it. It's smart. You know you're the best. You know you're the champ. You know you can win this thing. You just don't make that public, man.
No. See, we talk about like TJ even talked about that in comparing himself with what Cody was saying. Cody's like, I'm a fighter, and you're more of an athlete. I couldn't agree more. He's doing the right thing. Think about it. You're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, right? Do you want them to go out there and play? I don't watch enough football to know right now if the Patriots are still kicking ass. But do you want them to play the Patriots every week, or do you want them to play the Raiders every week so you get your shot in there at the title?
Well, judging by this season that we beat the hell out of the Patriots and then lost at one point lost to the Raiders, I'd rather go play the fucking Patriots.
I kind of did that on purpose.
No. So. No, I get your analogy. I get your comparison there. No, I get it. Yeah, sure, you want to take the easy. If it was the playoffs, would I rather play the Patriots in the playoffs or the Raiders in the playoffs?
Yeah,
I'd rather play the Raiders. Yeah, absolutely.
And Tough is playoffs. It's
exactly.
It's a single elimination.
So I get it. I just didn't like it.
I understand that, and that's part of the reason why I love Bisping. Is Bisping fights, especially back on Tough, he was fighting anybody, everywhere. I don't care. So I get both, and I like both. But what it is about TJ is I always liked his fight IQ, even before he was as skilled as he is now, he was always more of a
dude. His fight IQ is so
all that stuff,
high. I
know
Dominic Cruz tried to. I know Dominic Cruz in their lead up to the fight tried to say his fight IQ was low. Dominic Cruz couldn't be more wrong. TJ's fight IQ is so high, and he showed it in that fight last week with Cody. He showed it. He adjusted everything, and I don't think it's just TJ though. It was definitely Dwayne. Dwayne Ludwig is a smart coach, man. May not have been the best 100%. Fighter, but he's a smart coach.
It's both. It's Dwayne noticing something, telling TJ, and then TJ either
instead of ignoring his coach like other people.
Yeah, he listens to what his coach says, and he knows with his own instinct, because the coach can tell you, hey, watch that. He's feinting with the left, and he's coming with the overhand right, or he's doing this, and they can tell you that. But if you don't have the ability to see it and make the physical adjustments, then it doesn't matter. And the physical adjustments that TJ made in the original game plan was to kind of stay on the outside, but he got caught in the end of the first round. We're talking about the last week's fight again. Blah, blah, got clipped. But he made the adjustments.
We're talking about last week's fight again because I was drunk and I don't remember what we said on the last show. So
yeah, but again, TJ using his
repeating ourselves.
Yeah, I think we are using his feints to get the counter striker to overcommit, and then TJ staying tight in the pocket and just being a skilled fighter, but tactically making Cody miss or missing on his own. It's kind of like you stand orthodox and you want to throw the left high kick without doing a switch kick. You throw your jab to your right, your opponent's left a little bit, so they're going to feint towards the way you're kicking them, right? It's those little kind of adjustments and tweaks that Cody was doing, those little setups. Seeing that Cody was moving away to his right, which set him up for, I think. Oh, actually, I'm rambling here, Lip, but I think that Cody was standing southpaw, or TJ was standing southpaw through the right jab, and that got Cody to kind of feint to Cody's right, and that's how put him in position to step over to that kick.
Yeah,
something like that. I'm kind of going off a little faded memory. I'd have to watch the whole fight again, but I know he was using that jab. I don't want to call it a lazy jab at all, but he was using the jab as a distance ranger for him, because Cody, as a counter striker, wants to just stay 1 inch away from that jab so he can counter. But if TJ knows his follow-up punch is already at that distance where Cody wants to go, and those are the kind of adjustments that he was making, and that won him the fight. But anyways, I rambled.
Let's be clear. Yeah, a little bit of rambling. It's cool, but let's be clear, man. We don't hate Cody. I didn't like his.
Not at all.
I didn't like his portrayal on Tough, but he's definitely an elite fighter. And if TJ and Cody fought 10 times, more than likely 5 each. I mean, honestly, they're both
close,
so
man,
elite. Yeah. Maybe
100%.
6'4", TJ, maybe 7'3", I don't know.
I think TJ gets the better of it, but yeah,
he's
I
just
agree.
a smarter
he's an elite fighter. And I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think the whole alpha male bullshit with him and some of the other gentlemen alpha male fighting for Uriah and doing Uriah's fight, that just irks me a bit. But I don't think those guys are bad.
I don't like that, but I do like that a couple of people that are now at alpha male, especially one person on this show who looked phenomenal. We'll get to him in a minute, but I want to talk about another person who is also at alpha male. In the opening fight of the card, man, Clay fucking Guida.
Yeah, right? Wow.
Jesus Christ. Clay Guida, the wet blanket Clay Guida. I don't get why everybody likes him so much. Okay, so here's the thing.
Humper.
Yeah, exactly. He's a dry humper. The fights that Clay Guida usually wins he's the most boring fucking fighter there is when he wins. Everybody likes Clay because his exciting fights are when he's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, because he keeps moving forward regardless of what damage he's taking.
Exactly, but everybody thinks that Clay Guida, I've had people over the years say Clay Guida is one of the best fighters in the world. I mean, obviously this is before the jump down to featherweight and before he's on his big losing streak and everything. But I kept trying to tell him, no, he's not one of the best fighters in the world. He's exciting when he gets his ass kicked, but when he's winning, it's because he's he's wet blanketing him. He did the same thing to Josh Thompson in Strikeforce when he won the Strikeforce lightweight title. He wet blanketed him. He's not exciting when he wins, except for tonight.
Well, his boxing,
I should say, last night.
Crisp. Yeah, his boxing has never looked so crisp. Like his combinations and Lozon just, dude. I don't know how that uppercut he threw, man, hit
Lozon's
square
done,
on the chin.
I hate to take a lot away from Clay Guida here, but a breeze can knock over Joe Lozon right now, but by his chin, he just doesn't have it, and he's been in so many wars his entire career, and I have so much respect for that man. But it's time to call it. It really is. He's taking too much punishment. Speaking of too much punishment, the ref for that fight, I forgot who it was, but he should be fined for letting that fight go on that long. Because that fight should have been stopped.
It was tough because Lozon is pretty resilient at trying to get his grappling game in. I don't know. It should have been stopped.
Too many elbows. Too many.
Yeah, I think there were too many, but that's a tough one. That's the problem, I think, with referees is then that when they know and understand a fighter's recovery abilities, sometimes they give them too much time.
Yeah, but the same thing happened last week with in the main event with GSP and Bisping. GSP got the choke, sure, but that should have been stopped well before the choke because Bisping took a ton of unanswered shots, especially elbows from Bisping took a ton of unanswered shots and elbows from GSP. That fight should have been stopped. This was even worse. Joe Lozon took so much unnecessary damage. And I feel bad for Clay Guida having to give out that damage. You could tell when it was finally stopped, he did not want to do that.
Yeah, he even said himself, like, don't want to give these guys more damage than they have to get.
Yeah, because if anybody knows about damage, it's Clay Guida. He's taken a lot.
Yeah, he himself has been in plenty of receiving ends of ass whoopings and elbows and cuts and everything else. But no, he looked good, man. If he keeps fighting like that, he'll have some more fun fights again.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, he's not a title contender.
No, he won't ever be. No, I mean he was at one point, and then Ben Henderson put a stop to that. So, what'd you think about his post-fight interview? I thought it was awesome because he mentioned that it was his last fight in the contract and used his popularity with the crowd to kind of put the leverage on the UFC. Like he has leverage now.
No, that was smart.
Exactly. I loved it.
The way he won, and then he is a popular fighter. A lot of people like to watch him because he does wrestle and hold people down a lot, but he's always moving forward. He's exciting fights when he's getting his ass whipped. So people like him. He's a name that people know. So yeah, use that. Get your leverage. Hey, look what I just did. Give me some more money.
Yeah. And see, I didn't even know it was his last fight on the contract till he mentioned it. I didn't see anything in social media, on the news, or anything like that it was his last fight. And he mentions that in the post-fight press conference. He said, hey, if you want to see me continue fighting in the UFC, pay me my, blah, blah, blah. And they cheered. They were chanting Guida. And when they were chanting Guida, he was chanting UFC into the microphone to try to get him to, kind of change it. Try to be a nice guy to the UFC. I don't know what kind of money he's looking for at 35 years old. He might be looking at some money for, maybe a 6-fight deal to be able to comfortably retire, maybe move into a coaching position. I think Guida goes to Bellator. I do. I don't think the UFC pays him what he thinks he's going to be worth. Even though he's a fan favorite, I just don't see it. They have shown that they will let top contenders walk.
Yeah, he's not that.
And he's not. I mean, he's popular, sure. But is anybody going to miss Clay Guida if he never fights again? No.
No, not to be a dick, I wouldn't.
Yeah, not to be a dick.
I'd like to see him in Bellator. I think he's going to be a top 5 guy at Bellator where he's not.
He'd be fun. He'd be fun to watch. There's a lot of fights in Bellator.
I'd like to see him
with
fight
Josh
Chandler.
Thompson.
Thompson.
Rematch with Josh Thompson. Rematch with Ben Henderson. I'd love to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Chandler would beat the fuck out of him. That's cool.
Yeah, but I think it would be a fun fight until he got stopped and Chandler wins because Chandler is probably the best 55er not in the UFC.
Patricky Fihere, Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull.
I can never
that
get
would
that
be a
last
fun
name
one.
right, probably. But I mean, that would be fun. Yeah, maybe Patricio would jump up from featherweight again. That would be fun.
Yeah, I call him Pitbull number 2.
Yeah. Which is funny because in pro wrestling there was a Pitbull family, I think 4 of them, and they went by Pitbull 1, Pitbull 2.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, so we were talking about judging earlier, and this is a fight I was actually waiting for us to get to.
And talking about people who fought on this card who are really not ever going to be in the title picture. This next fight had 2 guys who are vying for a title shot.
I was going to say, I hope you're not going to try to say that neither of these guys are going to be in title picture. Because in my mind, Marlon Moraes is 2-0 in the UFC. Or at least he should be. He won that fight with Rafael Sanchao, and I love a Sanchao, but Marlon Moraes should be 2-0 in the UFC. And he beats John Dodson by a split decision. Jesus, this judging gets me fucking heated right now. 2 judges had it 30-27 for Moraes. Yep. 1 had it 30-27 for Dotson, and I could not disagree any more with those scores by the simple fact that neither of these fighters should have got a 30-27.
No, it was close, though. So that's where we've talked about this before, and I've been really 30-27 for this guy and 30-27 for that guy. Like, how do you see that? I don't know, man, because it was a very close fight. It was a razor's edge, so I don't know. I get your anger with it because to me, what do? You give the second and third round to Moraes?
I did. Yes.
And that's the way I saw it too. But the first round was kind of close. The second and third
Dotson had
were
the
less
knockdown.
close.
He came the closest. But then again,
Correct.
You know what? You're right. I mean, the new rules were not in effect.
Correct.
But judges have been doing it. So yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah, but there's so many people online right now whining about robbery. If they would just take off their biased glasses, their biasness.
Robbery?
Yeah, they're calling it robbery. I'm like, oh, sorry. Korean Zombie, Leonard Garcia is a robbery. Leonard Garcia, Nam Fan is a robbery. Diego Sanchez, Ross Pearson is probably the worst robbery I've ever seen in my life.
I think
so
Diego
when you
lost
throw
like
the
4
word
quarts of
robbery
blood.
around,
Yeah.
you're diminishing it. And this is not a robbery. It was a close fight that went the one way that it should have in my mind. I thought it was a clear 2-3 for Maurice. I honestly did. I'm glad the judges, at least 2 judges, got it right. At least with those 2 rounds. I'm sorry, I gave John Dotson the first round.
I did too.
But yeah, robbery, come on, man. And Marlon Moraes is a beast. I just wish he would get his footing in the UFC. He's one of the best in the entire world, and I will stand by that statement. A lot of people try to say that the fighters outside of the UFC can't hang, but he can hang. He trains with Frankie. Yeah. He trains with Alvarez. He trains with Barbosa. He's one of the best fighters in the bantamweight division. His call-out of Jimmy Rivera is
I was going to say
awesome.
His call-out was incredible. He's doing the right thing, and it's unfortunate. I know Rose wants everyone to be lovey and peaceful and then beat the shit out of each other and then be peaceful again, but his call-out was perfect. Sean Shelby, where's Sean Shelby? You send me contract. December 30.
Jimmy Rivera, you knock people out in training and you talk about it. I do it too, but I don't talk about it.
You just talked
Which
about it.
Which you kind of just did, but I got his point.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Jimmy Rivera versus Marlon Moraes is a fight. That is a fight.
That's a great fight.
You put that on December 30th?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Poirier and Pettis. That's your fight of the year.
Please do it.
That is your fight of the year.
Please
put that
do
on.
it. Oh, my
Please
God.
I hope they send that contract.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that fight.
Because Jimmy Rivera is one of the best in the entire world. He's on, what, a 20-fight win streak? 22-fight win streak, maybe?
That's fucking ridiculous.
Hasn't lost since his last, I think it's 20. Hasn't lost since his second fight ever. And then you got Marlon Moraes, who was on a 13-fight win streak before losing an unjust decision, in my mind, to Sun Xiao. Should be on a 14-fight win streak. And former World Series of Fighting champion. I'm glad that World Series of Fighting / Professional Fight League, basically RaceFO, allows the UFC, gives them allows UFC to use their footage to promote Marlon Moraes.
Cool.
That's an owner right there, man. That's a president of a company who doesn't care if they're a fighter. Like, they did the same thing for Gaethje. To promote Gaethje, RaceFO cares about the fighters. That's awesome to me. That he allows them to use footage from fights in his promotion to promote themselves in the UFC. That is so cool of him, and I think more people should be like that. Even Scott Coker in Bellator and Viacom.
Well, what it does is it actually elevates the World Series of Fighting and Professional Fight League, because what that does is you're seeing Gaethje. Holy crap, this dude Gaethje is that good. He's badass. Well, where'd he come from? He came from Professional Fight League.
Oh, I need to check that place out.
Let me check those guys. Let me check out that organization.
In the WWE for CM Punk's. This is like a little segue because WWE, CM Punk, MMA. He for his Best in the World DVD, they showed a lot of Ring of Honor footage, courtesy of Ring of Honor. It was the same thing. People start, if you hadn't heard of Ring of Honor before, you see that, oh man, CM Punk, this world famous world champion in WWE, getting his own DVD I'm watching, was in this company. I'm going to go check this company out. Exactly. It's the same thing, man. Just, you're giving yourself, I don't know why so many other companies are so protective over their footage.
If you're not the UFC or you're not Bellator, you don't share your footage. I understand UFC and Bellator not doing it, but if you're any of the other B leagues, and let's be honest, Bellator, other than like the top 5 in each division, is like a B+, A- league compared to the UFC. You guys hold on to your rights for your stuff.
Well, let's be fair. Like, Bellator fighters, a lot of them are top contenders, the top fighters. It's been proven by a lot of the UFC fighters that are coming to Bellator.
Again,
unless you're Rory McDonald, a lot of UFC fighters have struggled.
But they're fighting top 5 guys. I think anybody in the top 5 at Bellator can hang in the top 10.
So then we agree that Alexander Shlemenko is actually a top fighter and could compete in the UFC.
Whoever thought otherwise just didn't know who he was.
Exactly. Thank you.
Look.
They saw his fight with Tito Ortiz, he was very undersized.
Dude, he's a middleweight fighting a giant Tito Ortiz. No,
Mousasi should have beat him. They're surprised that Mousasi, had so much trouble. No, I'm not.
Mousasi should have beat him, but Shlemenko hit him, a completely legal punch, swole his eye up, shut him up, depth perception gone, and Mousasi hung in there to win a decision that was iffy at best. But Mousasi is a better fighter, but I think that people underestimated Shlemenko big time.
For sure, I agree. So I'm starting to feel a little worse now. Starting to get a little under the weather. Let's run through the rest of this card real quick. At least some top things, and then let's get to talking about some news. Maybe preview the next card.
I just want to mention, real quick, if we're gonna skip through some of these prelim fights, is Tatiana Suarez.
Looked
She's a force to be
amazing.
reckoned with, bro.
Looked amazing.
She
Her
will
wrestling
be.
is the best in that entire division. Easily. Her
Yeah,
wrestling can cause so much trouble. She could have been the Olympics if it wasn't for cancer. This woman beat cancer, and now she's beaten 5 opponents in professional MMA. She's a beast.
Dude, she's so good. I don't know why it was a tight matchup bonus. Nothing against.
Well, Vivian
Perry.
Pejea, it was 13-0, and it was 2-0 in the UFC. She's actually really good, if
know
not
that's what I was about to get
undersized.
to.
That's the problem. Suarez is actually a little big for the strawweight division. I wouldn't be surprised if she jumped up to flyweight. But Vivian is should be somebody that should be fighting at atomweight. So, no, Suarez absolutely dominated the hell out of her. How only one judge gave only one 10-8? I had the second and third 10-8s. So,
dude, they were so bad. I mean,
that
Suarez
should have been 30-25 across the board.
I completely agree with you, man. I'm very high on Suarez. I'm a clit rider, if that's the thing.
Well, let's not also ignore the fact that Vivian Pejea has the worst fight IQ in the history of any woman's fighter in the strawweight division, because she kept going for that guillotine that Suarez was obviously baiting her into doing, so that she can get that takedown on her.
Yeah, get the takedown, and she'd go straight into half guard.
Exactly. She did it every time, multiple times. It was ugly.
It was just a bad habit of Pejera. But I just wanted to touch base on that.
No, that's cool.
I know
I'm
really high on
show,
Suarez.
but
I'm really high on Suarez, and I don't know who she fights next, but I just want to see her keep doing the same thing she's been doing. She's fun to watch. She's aggressive. She's got decent skills in setting up her takedowns, and where she beats people up is on the ground, and she's not a wet blanket at all. She's a world beater.
No, she beat the hell out of her.
It's someone to look forward to. Watch her fight.
Sage Northcutt looked the best I've ever seen him.
Yeah, of course, when I didn't pick him to win.
You didn't?
You look great. Team Alpha Male, again, I am not a fan of what's going on at Team Alpha Male with the BS they're saying to TJ, but they do know how to develop
They are
fighters
producing results, that's for sure. And
they know how to get you when you're young and make you better. But I don't know how many world champions they're going to really produce, to be honest with you.
Sage Northcutt's takedowns looked phenomenal.
No, they look like he's been wrestling his whole life.
Exactly. We might be on the verge of another GSP, right? I'm not trying to be use some hyperbole here, because it very well could be. But the way he shot into those takedowns and how he was able to easily transition to side control, like in midair through the takedown, by just adjusting the position of his hands and his arms, we could be looking at a GSP here, the man that could just take to wrestling that quickly and that well, because they look I think fucking phenomenal. And to go along with his world-class striking, his world-class karate, this could be the Sage that we've been waiting for.
I hope it is. And again, that's what I noticed in his takedowns. And
I do.
I do too. You can't not like the kid. He just hasn't been producing for me, so I stopped picking him. And Quinones has picked for me twice.
No,
so that
it's
worked.
fair.
But,
Quinones is actually not a slouch. So
no, not at all. So I thought it would hurt him.
And the thing with Sage is he doesn't come off like a John Jones did. That's the thing. He seems too nice. Oh, he's so nice. He's quoting the scriptures and all that stuff. I don't think Sage is fake like John was trying to. Every time John was talking, I thought he was sounding like he was trying to be a nice guy. The Sage is just a nice guy. He's calling Annex sir. He's calling all these people. He's like, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's just, how can he not root for this kid? I'm rooting for him to get the role of Ivan Drago's son. He said he auditioned for it.
Son?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about that, and she was laughing because, he'd fit perfect there. He is generally a good guy. If you listen to his interviews with, thank you, Mr. Helwani. Like,
he's just such a nice kid, man.
It's that humble, good kid, and I like him. I hope he continues to wrestle like that, and he's going to win fights that way.
Yeah. And then, opening the Fox Sports 1 preliminary card, Nina Ansaroff defeats Angela Hill by a very exciting unanimous decision. I gave Hill the first round, and then the obviously second and third easily went to Ansaroff. She just found her rhythm, found her range, and started countering Hill. And I enjoyed the fight. I thought it was great.
Yeah, Mrs. Nunez looked phenomenal tonight.
Mrs. Nunez, there you go. Wait, they married? Did they get married? They did, huh?
They're engaged. I don't think they're married yet.
Yeah, close enough.
They're engaged. Yeah, but no, she looked good. I thought that she was gonna win that fight. I guess I had picked Hill in our league by accident, but I thought her stamina was gonna win the fight.
Speaking of our league, real quick, last week I was too drunk to remember and announce it. Last week's winner was our good friend Mike Oliver. Congratulations, you won the event that week. I just want to point that out because I told you I would, and I completely flubbed that.
Drank too much.
Yeah, so my bad, man. I told you I would. Hey, congratulations, Mike, on winning UFC 217 in our Pick'em League.
Good job, Mike.
This week, congratulations to Vanessa Evans. My fiancée.
Yeah, good job, Vanessa. See, I'm not too proud to admit when your chick does well.
Hey, man.
If
your chick does well, if your wife does well, and I forget, remind me, man. I'm not obviously one of my good friends. I forgot.
Yeah, I do. Trust me, I'll remind you.
I just forget. I need to start doing that in the opening, I think. And this week's winner of the MMA Max Pick'em, that will be the name of the group next week, or next year at least. Anyways, so on the preliminary card of the Fight Pass, Sean Strickland defeated Court McGee by unanimous decision, but is originally announced as a majority draw because somebody did a miscalculation of the scores. And
they added them up wrong. If you look at the scorecards,
they added it up to make it look like two judges gave it a 10-10 in the first.
Yeah, and you look at the scorecards, it's clearly 9-10, 9-10 for McGee, and then 10-9, 10-9 for Strickland.
Which
and
really sucks for Strickland because even though it was on the Fight Pass, it really sucks for Strickland because he was announced to people that would watch. He was announced as a draw, not as a victory. He's now 19-2, representing Corona, California. Represent,
woo,
woo. Riverside County, baby, Southern California.
Riverside County, baby. Yeah, I had him to win.
We got to get him on the show.
Yeah, I had him to win this fight too, but yeah, that was kind of a disappointment. He was like, "How'd I not win? I don't
know
get it." Like he was so dumbfounded too. But yeah, he did win. They got it right. They reversed it.
When they announced it as a draw, it's like there's no fucking way. There's no way. I mean, 10-10 round. That's cool. I mean, some people think that it doesn't exist, but it does. It's just a 10-point must system. It doesn't mean that you can't score 10-10. It's just 10-point must. Somebody has to get a 10.
Yeah,
unless it's a foul. That's all a 10-point must system means. It means there must be a 10. So I mean, it's like when you get fights like Tyron Woodley versus Wonderboy Stephen Thompson in their second fight. The first 3 rounds could easily be 10-10s because nobody did anything. So yeah, you would score those 10-10s, and that's why I'm okay with Woodley getting a decision.
I'd score those 9-9s.
Yeah, because you just don't want to give either of them the round because nobody
won that round. Everybody lost, especially the audience.
I get it.
Again, I like Woodley. I give him a lot of crap for being the most boring fighter in the UFC.
But you got to give him credit for being the smartest fighter in that division.
No, he's smart, and he's phenomenal. He deserves to be the champ. He's a great fighter. He's just been fighting not to lose the belt now. Again, we talked about with
I hate that because he's been
and everything else.
He's fought 2 specialists, man. I mean, what else can you do?
I think he could have fought Maia. I don't know why he was
dropped
afraid
Maia,
of Maia.
and then if he would have, and he torn his rotator cuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the case. I'm kind of giving him a pass on that. Like, I get it. It's going to be hard to throw that power right hand of his where he throws it like
but he had Maia finished, but he tore his rotator cuff. But when he drops Maia, what do you expect him to do? Jump down into a world fucking class guard?
No. You let him get back up and you swarm him with punches.
But he had a torn rotator cuff, so that give him a pass there. And with Wonderboy, you can't swarm Wonderboy. Come on.
No. I get it, but I mean Masvidal still lost to him, didn't get knocked out, and wasn't afraid to engage.
And look what happened.
He lost the fight.
He was dominated that fight. Masvidal was dominated on the feet. I'm sorry. It was so that's what happens. And that's why Woodley is the champ. That's why he's smart about it.
He is. I want him to fight Colby Covington, even though Colby doesn't deserve it. Just because I want to see Woodley start again.
I'm over Colby Covington.
Oh, X-Pac heat like nobody's business. That's why he needs. He needs to get put to sleep. He needs to go night and shut his retarded mouth.
I think Woodley knocks him the fuck out.
I think Till knocks him out. I think Perry knocks him out. I think Ponzinibbio knocks him out.
We talked about it on that show, man. I hope everybody's on that Till bandwagon because he is a future champion.
Yeah. As we do digress, what do you think about Wonder Boy?
I don't like about Wonder Boy's dad turning down that fight. I get it though. I get it. If he has
smart fighters here, let's talk about smart.
Okay, but if Wonder Boy has kind of a couple broken thumbs, some torn cartilage or whatever, torn tendons. Yeah, don't take the fight, man. That's just dumb. You don't do that ever. I don't care who the fighter is. Don't do it.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. No, that'll hinder how you fight.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, God, that would have been an amazing fight.
It would have been a fun fight, but yeah,
And Wonder Boy's looking for he's looking for a title shot again. Which I mean, he is 0-1-1 against the champs. I mean, they were kind of not great fights, but 0-1-1. It's a trilogy still there, and even a how would you say it? A quadruplet? A quadruplet? Well, that's what happens when one's a tie. I would think, right? I mean, that's why I never got why they didn't do the Edgar Maynard Part 4 before Maynard fell off, of course. Because one was a draw. Taken. Okay, so Maynard won. One was a draw. Edgar won. Well, okay, wait a second. Maynard should have at least they should have still settled it. Now Edgar would have won, but it should have been settled.
Well, if they try to settle it now again, Edgar would destroy Maynard at any weight division.
Edgar would destroy a lot of people, and we're going to talk about that. Actually, we're going to talk about that real quick here. So Sean Strickland defeats Court McGee. Yeah. Jake Collier defeats Marcel Fortuna by decision. It was actually a pretty good fight. Carl Robinson, fresh off of his Dana White Contender Series, defeating Darren Stewart by submission rear naked choke in Stewart's middleweight debut. Looked fantastic.
Saw that going good? Who saw that being a submission, right?
Probably should have in hindsight because he now has 3 submissions and 2 knockouts and 1 decision. So probably should have saw it in hindsight. It was possible. But it was this whole card was amazing. And I'm glad that these free cards lately have just been living up to the hype and just looking so good.
That's matchmaking, man. Shelby and Maynard have been listening and making good decisions.
Yeah. So, real quick, we're going to take a quick 30-second break on our show and promote one of our other shows over at W2Mnet.com, our Football to the Max friends, hosted by Sean Garmer. And we will be back to discuss UFC Fight Night 121, Werdum versus Tybura, and Conor McGregor's antics.
Oh, yeah.
So, everybody stick around.
It's game time, boys, and we know football. Football to the Max is the podcast for you if you want in-depth analysis over the NFL and college football. We preview all the action coming your way over the weekend. And we break down all the big action after it's happened. Plus, we tackle all the big news topics and discuss everything when it comes to the gridiron. So come check out Football to the Max every Tuesday morning and Friday morning on the W2M Network.
And we're back. Hope you enjoyed that little commercial spot from our good friends at W2M Net's Football to the Max. Great show. If you enjoy professional football, go ahead and check it out. Very entertaining, man. They know their stuff over there.
Yeah, they do a really good job. If you think that we do a good job, then you're going to be blown away by what they can do.
Oh, wow. Then we should probably just cost them viewers. Or listeners. Yeah.
The bar is so low.
So coming up this Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, is UFC Fight Night 121. Fabricio Werdum versus Marcin Tybura. It was originally supposed to be Mark Hunt versus Marcin Tybura because this fight is taking place down in Sydney, Australia, which is close to Mark Hunt's hometown, at least home area.
Good eye, Mike.
Yeah, good eye, Mike. Yeah.
Home province, what do they call him down there?
Yeah. Gonna go catch me a wallaby.
Put another shrimp on a barbie.
Put another shrimp on a barbie. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
God,
that's awful.
We were being
Yours
very
is as bad
offensive.
as mine. Yeah.
I can't do accents, man. I'm horrible, but close enough. Yeah, so Mark Hunt was supposed to fight in the main event, and he was just removed for his medical concerns because he was an idiot and talked about how he's losing his mind, basically losing his memory and slurring his speech when he was talking.
Was he slurring his speech during podcasts? And he might be Robert Taylor.
Yeah. Damn it.
I've been waiting for that one. I don't know, about a week or so now.
Yeah. Oh, you've been waiting for us to preview this and talk about Hunt so you can say that? Wow, man.
Slurred speech and then you last week. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you're the one that said it. It just set me up.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so Dana White basically said, look, man, we want to keep you on the card. We'll fly you out here to Vegas, send you through the CTE center we have out here. Take a look. Mark Hunt didn't want to do it. And this is the UFC story. Mark Hunt said he did other tests. Dana White says, no, we needed you to come here to the world-class facility that checks people out for this. Hunt didn't want to do it. And he's saying they pulled him because of the lawsuit that he's in with the UFC for allowing him to fight obviously maybe one or two different steroids were in Brock when he fought him. I don't know. He tested for 2, right? But anyway,
I think it was just one, but either way.
Just one. But yeah, either way, Brock Lesnar is the poster child for all natural athletes. But yeah, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think, in all honesty, the only thing that the lawsuit may have had to do with it is the fact that if Mark Hunt got hurt, he would be like, dude, I said that this was going on, and you still allowed me to fight. You know what I mean? Because Mark has shown himself to be litigious. Maybe that's why the UFC did it. Maybe they, if they weren't acting in Mark's best interest, they're acting in their own, and that's why. That's what I think.
No, they were. I mean, they might have been acting and just doing it to punish Hunt. But the fact is, Hunt said what he said.
I don't think they're punishing Hunt though, because they.
No, but they could have. I'm saying that there's a lot of people that they're saying that they're doing it just to spite Hunt because of Hunt's lawsuit, which could be the truth. It could. You don't know. But the fact is, he admitted he had trouble sleeping and he's stuttering and slurring his words. He has no memory, like short-term memory anymore. It's just, what'd you expect him to do? They had no choice but to pull him. Because if he was to get hit really hard, which is very possible, because Marcin Tybura hits really fucking hard.
Really, really fucking hard.
You could be looking at something really, really dangerous for Mark Hunt and for the UFC. That UFC could have been so bad for the entire sport. The last thing the UFC needs, and it's, which I know everybody says, "Do you UFC, bro?" As a joke. But when it comes to MMA in the forefront in the mainstream media, UFC is MMA. That MMA is UFC. That's what they attribute it to. That's what they equate it to. It's just the way it is. Somebody getting completely damaged, maybe even possibly dying in a UFC cage is a huge black mark and might be a death spell to the UFC, to MMA. That is not what we need right now.
Yeah,
that is not what we need.
I think it was the right thing based upon Mark Hunt's own comments, and I was really looking forward to that fight with Hunt. I thought it would have been a good slugfest. I thought it would have been a great fight. And again, if you want to punish Hunt, throw him in there with Tybura. That's how you punish him, because that guy hits hard. Yeah,
exactly. Tybura hits hard. It was a great fight to set up.
Yeah.
The new main event of Fabricio Werdum versus Marcin Tybura is not that great of a fight, because I just think
Werdum chokes him out.
Yeah, I think Werdum just runs through him with jiu-jitsu. So unless he runs at him with his chin up, hands down,
which is possible.
Yeah, it's very possible. So, but it's a great main event, and it's another great fight card produced by the UFC. I think this one's on Fight Pass. Don't quote me. I think it's on Fight Pass. Originally, we were supposed to have Jesse Taylor, the winner of the Ultimate Fighter Redemption, which was a great Ultimate Fighter winner, because it was the ultimate redemption. He was supposed to fight Bilal Muhammad, and he was notified by a potential doping violation by USADA. His replacement makes this a way better fight in my mind. Tim Means versus Bilal Muhammad is
the dirty
barn burner, dude. That is a fucking barn burner. That's going to be the fight of the night in my mind.
Damn, this is not my truest form podcast, because I'm agreeing with you 100%. To hear that replacement, I was so stoked. I love watching the Dirty Bird fight, man.
Oh, he's so good. So good. He's good, but he's so fun. He's so exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be. I used to sleep on Muhammad before, but he's really developed himself into a phenomenal, well-rounded fighter.
What do you think about one of the other fights? Is Jake Matthews moving up to welterweight and fighting Bohan? I didn't get this guy's name last time when he lost to Darren Till. So I still can't remember how to pronounce his last name.
Or something.
It's like Velichovic. I could never remember. But Jake Matthews is moving up from lightweight to welterweight to take on Bohan Velichovic. And
that's going to be a fun fight.
Jake Matthews was he was a big lightweight. He got TKO'd by Kevin Lee and then lost a split decision to Holbrook. I thought Holbrook definitely won that fight. But damn, moving up to welterweight, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he does.
Yeah, I think he'll look good here. I think he's the odds-on favorite, not big. I think it goes to decision, and it's going to be who has the better of the combination in the striking. That's how I see this thing. I think it's going to be determined on the feet, the winner. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And then the co-main event we missed. We didn't really talk about it. Women's flyweight
Rollins,
division.
Clark.
Beck Rollins moving up, down, up. Yeah, to flyweight division, taking on Jessie Rose Clark. Should be a very interesting fight. Neither of them are world beaters. No. Jessica Rose Clark came from the Ultimate Fighter as well.
Yep.
No, she did not. I'm sorry. I am thinking of somebody else.
She wasn't on the Ultimate Fighter, Clark?
No, that's Heather Rose Clark.
Yes, Heather. Okay, you're right.
This is Jessie Rose Clark. Excuse both of our confusion. Yeah. No, Jessie Rose Clark.
Come on, dude.
She's coming from Titan. So she's fought in Invicta. She's 0-2 in Invicta. And her last fight came against Karina Dam, who was one of the bigger prospects at women's MMA before at Titan FC just this past August. So, making her UFC debut against Beck Rollins.
Rollins takes her down with some ground and pound and wins a easy decision.
Yeah, I agree because this is actually very short notice. November 7th is when Clark jumped in the fight. It was supposed to be Beck Rollins versus JoJo, as everybody knows, Joanne Calderwood, which would have been an amazing fight. And I think Calderwood would have absolutely destroyed Beck Rollins.
Yeah.
But I don't have a lot of faith in Jessie Rose Clark beating Beck Rollins because Beck Rollins is not a good fighter, but she could beat the lesser competition.
Yeah. I don't want to say a perennial contender. She's a perennial
close to being a gatekeeper, maybe.
Yeah. She's the gatekeeper's watchdog or something.
Yeah.
But, no, it'll be a fun fight. Rollins will take her down. She'll beat her up. And we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's UFC Fight Night 121 from Sydney, Australia. Like I said, I believe it's on Fight Pass, the entire card. Yeah. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize. But if you don't have Fight Pass, please get it. There's a lot of good fights on there. Bisping versus Silva was on there before. That entire card was on Fight Pass, and it was an amazing card.
And Speaking of Michael Bisping, you need Fight Pass to watch Shorty Torres fight in Titan FC.
Yes, you do.
Friday and defend his belt.
This Friday, November 17th, Jose Shorty Torres defends his Titan FC Bantamweight Championship. You need Fight Pass. Get Fight Pass. Watch Jose Shorty Torres do his thing. This is the best unsigned fighter in the world right now.
Yes,
when it comes to at least unsigned UFC fighter. He is the best flyweight prospect. I know everybody's talking about what's his name? Kai. What? I can't remember the man's name right now.
I can't remember his last name. I just remember his first name's Kai.
Kai Kara France. Don't blink. Everybody's talking about him as the best, unsigned flyweight in the world. He's not.
Who's everybody? I've only heard like 3 people, and like
there's
90
a lot of people.
Okay,
not everybody. There's a lot of people. He's 16-7 people.
Yeah, he's 16-7.
He has knockout power. He has one-punch knockout power in the flyweight division. So I get it. People are a little hyped on him. He's 16-7. He's not the best unsigned flyweight in the entire world. That is Jose Shorty Torres. He's good, but Shorty's going to whoop his ass if they ever fight. So stop trying to hype him up. Jose Shorty Torres, he's going to defend his Bantamweight Championship this Friday, November 17th at Titan FC. Check it out because after this fight, the UFC's coming calling.
Oh, they have to be. Everybody
they have
knows
to be.
it.
If not, there's a conspiracy. It's something. They hate him because he turned down Dana White's Contender Series because he was injured.
He had
I don't
a broken hand, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And a torn
I don't know
ACL.
what they're gonna say, what they're gonna do. Jesus Christ.
Who knows?
Who knows what the UFC is gonna do? Just like who knows what fucking Conor McGregor is gonna do, man.
Oh, I know what he's gonna do. Oh, can I answer this?
Go for it.
He's gonna make an ass of himself. He's gonna draw all the attention on himself and be an entitled prick.
Or as I like to put it, he's gonna do whatever he can to get suspended, get stripped of his title, so that he can avoid A, Tony Ferguson, B, fighting in the octagon ever again, and C, claim to all of his fans that, hey, I never lost the title, they took my title, I'm still the champion, I'm still the best, blah, 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 and they will suck it up like it's fucking nectar.
I love watching the guy fight, but that's bullshit. But in all honesty, he should be suspended for a year.
Absolutely, 100% suspended. What Conor McGregor did at that Bellator event, and I want to point out right now, shame on Bellator for promoting that, using that, what happened, to promote their show, to try to get more viewers because of Conor and what he was doing and what happened. Shame on them. Shame on Scott Coker.
Oh, yeah.
Shame on Viacom. Shame on everybody at Bellator using that event to try to promote their show. What Conor McGregor did was wrong, was illegal, was sickening. The man, honestly, if that was one regular fan that did what he did, they'd be behind bars right now.
I absolutely agree with you, man. It's stupid. And not only that, is if he was, so in love and so happy that his guy just won the fight, he's like, Charlie won the fight. Yeah. Well, now it's not about Charlie anymore. It's all about what the hell did dumbass McGregor do. Yeah. He's taken all the attention away from Charlie Ward.
So he has
all of it.
Okay, so Conor has his beef with Mark Goddard because one of Mark Goddard's guys, they fought in Cage Wars. Conor beat him. Okay, I get it. Whatever.
He's got a beef with Goddard because Goddard's the one that told him to sit the fuck down.
Well, this was before that, but this was before that. But apparently it escalated because Goddard told him to sit the fuck down when he's walking around the cage, trying to give instructions to Artem Lobov during a fight, which is completely 100% legal. It was, and then he comes in and does this. Conor McGregor was not a licensed cornerman. He was not a photographer. He was not a referee. He was not a judge. He was not a commission member. He had no right to be anywhere near the cage.
Nope.
And if he would have came in after the decision was after everything was settled, after the doctors had checked out John Redmond and made sure he's okay, and they were getting ready to announce the victory for Charlie Ward, which is fine, and then Conor entered the cage ready to go celebrate his man. That's one thing. He jumped in before any of that was done. The fight wasn't even completely over. He jumped in. Then he got into a shoving match with Mark Goddard, referee. By the way, Mark Goddard is not just a referee. The man is a legit martial artist. Mark Goddard, sized their weight classes MMA for a reason. He would fucking smash Conor McGregor if they ever fought.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife because we were watching it, and she goes, Mark Goddard doesn't even seem to be fazed by Conor. Obviously, Conor's a phenomenal fighter. And I'm like, babe, you don't understand. Yeah. Goddard is a legit martial artist.
He trains.
Look, let's say he couldn't beat Conor McGregor inside the octagon, but he can at least get a hold of him, hold him down long enough for everyone to break it up. It's not like Conor's pushing me around. You know what I mean? And Goddard's a big dude, too, so he can at least hold his own long enough for something to happen. He's not afraid of McGregor.
For a reason, man. Weight classes for a reason.
Exactly.
At least when it comes to an extreme like this. But not only that, but then they released video of Conor McGregor jumping on the cage before the
smacking
after the fight, and then the commissioner's like, "Get off the cage," and pushes him off, and he smacks a commission official.
Yep.
Okay, and I see all these apologists online saying, "Oh, well, the official pushed him first." Get off the cage, dude. You shouldn't even be on the cage. The commission official was saying, "Get off the cage." Why are you going to apologize? And he smacked. I'm sorry. If this was any other fighter but Conor McGregor, that would be a license revocation. That shit would be revoked.
Assault charges.
Exactly. Assault charges.
The commissioner's doing his job.
Revoke
keeping
the license.
The crowd off.
Suspended. Fined. Community service.
If any other person, if it was you or I at that event and we were jumping up onto the cage, what do you think would happen? They'd be, and I smacked the commissioner. Well, Mr. Hudson, can you please not do that again? No. I mean, no. He should have assault charges. He should have his license revoked. And I didn't even think about it, but you're right. That way he can get out of having to fight Ferguson. That's what he's really afraid of.
That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. That's seriously.
Yeah, he's going to do everything he can, and he was probably intoxicated. And he thinks it's all about him. It wasn't the Conor show, man. Let Charlie Ward have his moment after his hand is raised. Then let you go in there and give him a big old hug. Then celebrate with him the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, you wait. You wait.
And again, he wasn't a cornerman. He wasn't a photographer. He never belonged inside the cage. But I get it. Your guy just won the fight. You want to go
and
give him a hug.
especially your guy that was like
let
3-3.
it happen afterwards.
The guy that was 3-3.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is his antics prevented the doctor, the official, everyone doing what they needed to do to take care of an opponent who was on the ground after a wicked knockout. Right? I mean, John Redmond just got knocked out. He's on the ground, not doing so good, and yet everybody's got to focus on Conor instead of giving someone who got dropped the attention that he needs. Selfish, like.
Well, and it also led to maybe an early stoppage. I mean, that's the thing about it.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did because he could have got saved by the bell, but he was definitely hurt and probably wasn't going to come back. But unless he got saved by the bell and he would have got dropped in the second round. But yeah, he jumped in before the actual decision of the fight was made. It just shows that he has. Yeah, I don't know, man. I lost so much.
Well, let's look at it this way. So basically, remember when what was his name? Jason High attacked an official after his fight.
Yeah, he pushed it. That was after the Koscheck fight, or am I thinking when?
I think it might have been the Koscheck. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was. And I know Guillermo Cruz posted this. Guillermo Cruz on Twitter posted an exact quote of Dana White, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, so excuse me.
There's never an excuse for someone putting your hands on a referee. You'll never fight.
You'll never fight in the UFC again. You'll never fight, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with Paul Daly. There's no excuse for putting your hands on a fighter after the fight's over. You'll never fight in the UFC again. You know, and Guillermo Cruz is posting this on Twitter about and saying this is what Dana White says about people that put their hands on an official. And guess who put their hands on an official? Conor fucking McGregor.
Well, listen, Conor McGregor put his hands on an official in a fight that he wasn't in and a cage he didn't belong in.
Yeah.
So that's
not
totally
just
different.
A referee, but an actual commission official.
He slapped the commission official. That's even different. That's what this dude. I don't know. I
honestly think he's trying to get out of defending his title. I honestly do. There's no other excuse for it anymore. I'm done. I'm over. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I'm on the same page, man. It's kind of like he's working his way into John Jones territory to me, man. It's like, whatever, dude. You do.
Waste of talent.
Yeah. Again.
He's talented as fuck. I think he's one of the best in the entire world. I don't think he is the best, but I think he's one of the best, and I don't even like the guy.
Yeah,
but I'm not stupid.
One of the best. Yeah. He's definitely one of the best to ever grace the cage. But whatever, man. He's out. Again, when you're outside of the octagon, antics start drawing more attention than you're inside, and you're doing the wrong thing, dude. And again, I'm gonna watch all of this fight. I watch all the fights, and I'd love to watch him fight. I'm happy to see that happen. But right now, I don't follow him on Twitter anymore. I don't Instagram. Like, I'm just done with him. He's not an example of what I think a martial artist should be or anything positive.
So can we all just get on the board here? And this includes you, maybe, because I think we've had this argument before, that Conor McGregor has not lifted up the entire sport of MMA.
He's lifted himself up.
Thank you very much. That's what I've been trying to argue with people, and this exact thing that happened at Bellator kind of proves my point. He has not lifted the sport of MMA up. He's lifted himself up, and he's made the money. Nobody is profiting or benefiting off of Conor McGregor. Nobody, except for Conor fucking McGregor. Maybe Dana White and them, and the Fertitas before that, and then the
WMGING.
No, they renamed their Endeavor. They renamed themselves to Endeavor. That's right. It's a little better than the Alphabet Company. But nobody is profiting off of Conor, except for Conor, when it comes to the fighters.
Yeah,
Can we just stop this whole bullshit about Conor McGregor's lifting up the sport of MMA? He is not.
Yeah. And I'm starting to turn a little bit because you're getting the Colby Covingtons of the world to rear their ugly faces.
Jesus,
and again, it is a WWE model, and heels sell tickets. And so people are trying to be that heel. And let's be honest, Conor McGregor was the best of the best heels. Remember when Rock turned heel? He was that same kind of thing where you love this guy, but for some reason you're starting to hate him. Like, that's naturally kind of how Conor McGregor was. Like, you shouldn't really love this guy, but you kind of do. He is a little brash.
As also a wrestling fan, when The Rock came back from Hollywood his first time and he turned heel, it was the most amazing fucking thing ever.
That was awesome, right? Right? And I'm not even a big
sing along with The Rock
fan.
But
I'm not a wrestling fan, and I was aware of that heel turn, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And, hey, maybe this is Conor's way of doing it.
Man. The heels do sell because like in professional wrestling, just like MMA, you want to see the person you hate get their ass kicked, or you want to see the person you loved win. The guy that's hated. It doesn't matter. And with MMA, so people love Conor, they want to see him win, but there's people that hate Conor, they want to see him get his ass kicked. The problem is, when Conor does stuff like what he just did, if you still support his antics of what he just did, you're not a fan.
Yeah,
you're an apologist.
You're not an MMA.
You're an apologist. You're an apologist.
Yeah.
You're a dick rider. Mm-hmm. You're a fanboy. You're a Conor fan. Like you said, you're not an MMA fan. What Conor just did was a black eye on the sport. It wasn't the level of the Jason Miller and Jake Shields, Nick Diaz.
No,
at all.
Not on that level.
Because that was on CBS, and obviously CBS over Spike. But if you support and actually have no problem with what Conor did? I have nothing to say to you. We're not acquaintances. We're not fans. We don't even need to talk. Because that is a black eye in the sport. That is something that the sport does not need. That shows that Conor McGregor, especially after what happened before with the Artem Lobov fight, walking around giving off instructions, he has no respect for the sport himself. He has no respect for the sport himself.
Yeah, he had to go up and above. Oh, so those antics weren't enough. That didn't get enough attention. Mark Goddard told me to sit down and I listened. Well, now what are you going to do? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I like to watch him fight. Like, and he has such a lack of an apology. And now saying, "Hey, man, I got overwhelmed by emotions," anything like that. Just excusing himself as that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, is because it's Bellator and Bellator is a B league compared to the UFC A league. It's okay to do that? No, it's not a local promotion. If it is, you don't slap a commission member. Jumping in the cage is crappy, and then slapping a commission member doing their job, telling you to get off the cage. You don't belong up there, bro. It's not about you. It's about Charlie.
Dana White talked shit about Roy Nelson for giving a playful kick to John McCarthy because McCarthy stopped the fight late, and Roy Nelson was not wanting. God, who was he fighting?
JDS?
No, it was Arlovsky, I think. It was somebody. No. Roy Nelson basically got the finish in the first round. He did not want to. He kept punishing the man, but he did not want to do it. And John McCarthy let the fight go on way longer than he wanted to. So when the McCarthy finally
Silva.
It was Silva. It was Bigfoot Silva.
It was Bigfoot.
Yes, sir, it was. And so he gave a playful kick to the butt of McCarthy.
Yeah.
And McCarthy knew. And McCarthy's like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, dude, come on, man."
He's like, "Come on, man. You let me beat him up too much." Yeah.
Come on. I don't want to do that. And Dana White grilled and destroyed Roy Nelson in media and everything about it, saying, "You don't put your hands on an official." You know what? Conor McGregor just did 100,000 million times worse.
Dana say about it?
Oh
I follow. I don't know. I follow him on Twitter and Instagram. But what did he say?
It's unacceptable. He should be fined. Maybe suspended. He's going to leave it up to the commission.
Yep.
Right.
Of course he is. Yep.
Yeah. Of course.
No, I don't know. He hasn't said
didn't
shit.
Like it. But Conor just did something that was 100,000,000,000 trillion times worse. He assaulted a referee when he wasn't even involved in the cage. He assaulted an official when he wasn't involved. I'm sorry. I know I come off like the Conor fucking hater. I may just be. I don't care because of shit like this. But if I was a president of any commission, if I was a president of any promotion, I would ban him. I would ban him for assaulting a commission, not just a referee, but in the same instance, a commission official. Ban.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
He wouldn't be allowed to buy a ticket.
He wouldn't be allowed anywhere near the sport of MMA again. And that may be just what he wants, and I don't give a shit. But I would make an example out of him. Because everybody says, "Oh, the UFC will never release him. Oh, Bellator just signed him." I'm sorry. Even with Viacom backing, Bellator doesn't have the money to sign him. They don't have the money to meet his salary. They don't.
No, they don't.
Because after the Mayweather fight, he's going to be asking, and that's why he's asking for co-promotion for his next fight in the UFC, which he knows will never happen.
Yep.
Because after that Mayweather fight, he's a $100 million fighter. And good for him. Congratulations, McGregor. Good job. Bellator cannot afford that. Nobody can afford that.
And you look at it like
he's
this.
Done. That's why he's never coming back to fight, and I've been saying it for the longest time. He's done.
If you're Endeavor, you look at it like this. You're like, oh, you want equity? You want to be an owner? You want to be one of us? Well, you don't behave like it. You don't deserve it. He shot himself in the foot. Those are my demands.
Not just by the cause here. Sorry, that's just the way it is.
He is. He's finding ways not to fight Ferguson. And to be honest with you, in my mind, Ferguson beats him. In my mind,
of course he does. All these people that are trying to claim that Ferguson keeps his chin out there so that McGregor can catch him, and that he doesn't have motherfucker has a tested chin.
He has a tested chin, 1-2, and he has got. Because
Connor's only knocked out one person in the UFC, knocked out one person, and it took that person jumping at him with his chin up, his hands
13
down.
Seconds.
Yeah, but he doesn't have knockout power like people think. He just hits hard.
No, he hits really hard, and he stuns you, and then he
tested.
puts the pressure on you. I think Ferguson beats him with leg kicks and takedowns. Keeps his hands up and his chin down. He'll change the way he fights. He has despite what people think about Ferguson's kind of weird awkwardness, he's got a really good fight IQ. Not the greatest, but he's got a good fight IQ. He'll fight smart, and he'll beat him. He'll take him to the ground, and he'll beat him up. He'll choke him out.
I agree. But, I think Ferguson wins that fight, but it's not here nor there, man. Hey, Conor McGregor, you're trying to avoid a fight. That's my take on it. Whatever, man. Hey, go fuck off the boxing. Seriously, nobody's gonna care if you box Paulie Malignaggi. I'm sorry, they don't.
Boxing's not gonna play around. Boxing will suspend him. He'll lose his boxing.
Everybody thinks he's gonna go fight and box. But no, the novelty's worn off. The novelty was you versus Mayweather. I'm sorry, man.
Exactly.
It's done.
No one wants to see him fight Paulie.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's gonna buy that. They really won't. I'm not buying it. I'm not even gonna go watch it. Even if you bought it, like you bought the McGregor fight, the McGregor Mayweather one.
I bought that one, but I wouldn't buy the Paulie fight. I'd find a way to listen to it on the radio, so to speak.
I'm just, you know what? Honestly, at this point, hey, MMA to the max. At least MMA to the max. Rob, at least on my social media, says fuck Conor McGregor. I'm done. I'm over him. I'm done.
Yeah, I agree, man. I don't want to. Again, I don't want to say this, but
unless you want to come on the show,
you know, if he wants to come on the show, but that'd be fine. I don't know. I'm done with him. Don't want to talk about him until he does something about actual fighting. Then Conor McGregor, we're not going to talk about you because we don't do the drama. But that had to be mentioned because it was all over social media. Way to go, Spike. Way to go, Bellator. Way to go,
way to fucking promote that bullshit. Yeah. Promoting the guy fucking breaking commission rules. Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah, but you know, they showed the video of him jumping in the cage, not the video of him slapping the official.
Yeah. Well, good for Charlie Ward winning by TKO too. Anyways,
he looked good for him.
Yeah, he looked okay. I mean, I still remember him getting tossed on his fucking head, but that's cool.
Yeah, good for Charlie.
So we lost Dominic Cruz, Jimmy Rivera. Cruz got injured with broken arm, from what I hear. That sucks. We lost Frankie Edgar, got injured, so we lost that fight with Holloway. But we got Holloway versus Aldo 2, which I know a lot of people were talking about Cub Swanson, but I think the Aldo fight makes a little more sense. Cub Swanson did just beat Artem Lobov, and he was absolutely thrashed by Max Holloway. Whereas the Holloway-Aldo fight, Aldo won the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. So, now, I think an immediate rematch, even though it technically wasn't set up as an immediate rematch, is what Aldo does deserve. He was the most. He didn't get it after the
Conor fight, so he should get it. At least this is like sorry, bro. You know.
Well, he did after the Conor fight because his next fight after Conor was for the quote unquote interim belt against Frankie
with
Edgar.
Conor. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Conor doesn't defend belts. We know that, and the more and more I start talking about it, the more and
apparently he's trying to avoid doing it completely.
Yeah.
So good fights announced, man. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. Hey, you know what? I wanted to see Holloway versus Edgar so badly.
Oh yeah.
But you know, Holloway versus Aldo too. I'm still down with.
Still a good fight.
Because the first fight was still great. It was great. 3.5 rounds of awesome striking.
And we could break it down when we get a little bit closer to that fight. But
absolutely.
It's going to be a good. These last couple cards of the year are good, fun cards, man. Really, really.
I love the end of the year, man. That's when they really start stacking shit.
Yeah, they do. They do.
All right. Well, fuck, man. We've been going on for over an hour and a half. We're doing good. So
yeah, I think we're ready for social media plugs.
What? Hey, that's my line, motherfucker. All right, Joe.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to talk shit about you, how do they find you?
Best place to do that is JoeHud45 on Twitter. or MMA to the Max Joe. Remember, as always, the 2 is the number 2, MMA to the Max Joe on Instagram. That's how you get a hold of me. Robert, what you got?
Well, if you want to find me on Twitter, that's at It's Rock Robster, which, yeah, I know, it's a B-52's type of playoff. Find me on find me on Instagram. That's where I usually promote the show the most, at MMA to the Max Rob. That's MMA to the Max with the letter 2, R-O-B,
the letter
Rob.
2? What letter
Find
is
our
2?
show on Facebook, everybody. Please find our show on Facebook and follow us, join us, you know, all that good stuff at facebook.com/ that is a / MMA to the Max podcast. As always, find us on Twitter as well, our show's Twitter, which hasn't got off the ground yet, but we're hoping for it. On Twitter, at MMA the Max Show. Just, I know, podcast show, you know, Facebook, Twitter. Just, we got to take what we can get. But let us know what you guys think of the show. Let us know what you think about us as hosts. What, you know, be as critical as you want. I don't care. I got thick skin. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you do.
I do care a little bit. But as always, also as always, check out our parent site at w2mnet.com. Your one-stop shop for everything from wrestling, movies, video games, football, hockey, baseball, MMA, that's us. Anything you want, you're interested in, you can find it there. They have a podcast for almost everything. They have reviews for everything. They have prediction shows for everything. You want to find a review show or a prediction show for the upcoming season in NFL, you'll find it at w2mnet.com. You want to find a prediction show or even a prediction article for the next MMA show or pro wrestling WWE show, you find it at w2mnet.com. Our main man, our host, our boss, Sean Garmer, he's got it all down to a science for that show. w2mnet.com. Definitely check it out. You're uncharacteristically quiet right now, Joe.
Oh, sorry, buddy. I was letting you run through it, and then you normally say, you know, thank you.
Okay. Well, then, yeah. No, I thought you would add on to it. Be like, yeah, no, w2mnet.com is a great fucking website. I thought you would add it to that. But it's
normally
cool.
I do.
It's cool. You just leave me hanging there. Make me sound like an idiot. That's cool.
You hit every nail perfectly on the head. As you were saying stuff, I'm like, yeah, but... Oh, wait, you just said that. But... All right, you got it, my man.
It's a great show. Also, everybody, check out Backlog Busting podcast. Please search up your podcast for Backlog Busting, hosted by Wes Harrington and Randy Isabel. They do a lot of good podcasts. They're going through their backlog of video games, where they play video games from years yonder, from back and before that they've never played, and they see if everything holds up. So check that out for sure. That is a different thing to check out. I love the show. Great hosts. Anything else?
Zelda still holds up as the greatest game of all time.
Of course it does. They're going through right now. I think they're going through Earthbound, which is a great game.
Oh, there you go. That's a fun one.
Yeah. Anything else you got to add, Joe?
That's it, man. Like we said before, super excited about the upcoming events this last end of the year here. Everybody pay attention. We're excited. You should be excited. It's a good month for fights.
I can't wait. I love being an MMA fan.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, for W2Mnet.com and the one and only MMA podcast you can find that doesn't suck. Yeah, this is a shout out to some of you out there. MMA to the Max. I am your host, Robert Taylor. And for my co-host, Joe Hudson, we will see you again next week. Stay tuned.